Sports Talk with the Cowboy.
Welcome and thanks for riding with the Cowboy. Well, we had a bye week last week. We got a little bit of rest after the loss to the 49ers 23-20. And we're prepared in this week to play the New York Giants in New York on Sunday at 1 o'clock. We're 4-6. We got a 7-game stretch going starting this Sunday. And those 7 games will determine our fate as far as making the playoffs this year with the Buccaneers. We're going to play the New York Giants at 1 p.m. They're coming into the game at 2-8. We're going into the game at 4-6. We need the victory. We're going to have some of our players back, and to speak of Jamel Dean, our cornerback. And we're going to also have Mike Evans out there playing this week. Jamel McMillan, I don't know about if he's going to be playing. McMillan's going to be playing other receiver this week or not. I do not know yet. But we were going to be stronger than we were when we left against the 49ers with those 2 players back. We made some additions to the team. We made some additions to the defense. And with the offense getting Mike Evans back, that'll help quite a lot. We got to get in there and play 1 game at a time and win 7 straight. So that's what we got to try to do, and we're going to get started on that at 1 o'clock Sunday up at the Meadowlands. So everybody tune in and hope the Bucs do a good job. Mike Evans again be back. We got our running backs are all there. We don't have any injuries of note on the offense other than, of course, Chris Godwin out for the year, which is a big enough one. But we have all the other starters and the players that are back this week. We should be able to do good on the offense. We have Jamel Dean back at corner. Zake McCullum, we don't know about McCullum, whether he's going to be hurt or not. But we'll have to see. If not, Torrey Holt, a veteran from the Rams, will come up and play his position. And we also have recently signed in the last week Mike Edwards, who played on our Super Bowl team, who had went off and played with the Kansas City Chiefs and was with the Bills last year. And now he's back with the Bucs, and he's in uniform and ready to play. So if we have any problems with the Winfield or Whitehead not getting up to getting what's got to get done, Mike Edwards will be taking over, I'm sure. So that's what we're looking forward to. We're looking forward to a good game, a good strategy, a good running game, passing game, complementary football on defense and offense, and a victory. And we hope that next week in the show we can report to you prior to Thanksgiving good news about the Buccaneers this week. A lot of big games this week, as you know. The Bills and the Chiefs played. Bills in the Kansas City Chiefs undefeated streak by beating them this weekend, putting the Chiefs at 9-1 and putting them at 8-2. The Ravens were beaten by the Pittsburgh Steelers in a remarkable year that the Steelers are having with Russell Wilson leading that division. They're 2 games up on the Ravens in that division. So a lot of meaningful football being played. Nothing's been definitely set up for playoffs by no stretch of imagination, but it's starting to take shape at the top with Buffalo, with Kansas City, with the Lions, with some movement in the East. In the Central, with the Ravens or the Steelers. Probably be the Steelers. The Steelers are looking pretty good. They're 2 games up, and there's 7 games to go, so you can do the math. See how it works out, but the Steelers are really strong this year, and the Ravens are too. So starting to kind of formulate some of the playoff teams that probably be heading into the playoffs. We're still a little too early to make some definite calls, but there are teams, namely the 8-2 Bills, the 9-1 Chiefs, the 9-1 Lions, that you can pretty much assume are going to be in the playoffs at the minimum, if not division winners. We'll keep you posted on the football as it continues to progress. College football going. There's a 12-game playoff at the end of this year. First time ever. A lot of big games. The Gators and Billy Napier beat the LSU Tigers up at Benny Hill Griffin Stadium Saturday. Big game. Big game for Billy Napier. He's had them Gators playing pretty good against Georgia, pretty good against Texas, and he goes out and beats LSU that was ranked. Brian Kelly at the Swamp Saturday. Big game for the Gators. They're 5-5. They play Mississippi this week, and then they play Florida State. That'll end their season. If they can win 6, they'll make a bowl. So go Gators, go Napier. He's been given the vote of confidence, Billy Napier, head coach of the Gators, and told he will return as the head coach next year, the 2025 campaign for the University of Florida Fighting Gators. No question about it. That is in writing. That is a contractual clause. It's already been announced. He will not be terminated under no condition the following year. And a lot of the Gators, the first year when the Gators were losing and looking pretty bad, were hollering for his job. He's turned them around. He turned them around and put an exclamation point on it while beating LSU Saturday in Benny Grill Stadium. A lot of other big games. Oregon still number one. Texas, Georgia, Alabama. BYU got beat by Utah. All these standings of the 12 are going to change over the next few weeks. They've got about 3 weeks left and a lot of head-to-head matchups somebody's got to lose. Then they're going to have championship conference games, ACC, SEC, Big 12. And with that, there'll be even more losses. We don't know who the 12 in the college is going to be. And every week they have 12, but that don't mean nothing because Saturday one of them lose and he might drop out of that 12. We'll just have to wait more to the end of the season. Sometime about the middle of December, we'll have a lot better idea of what's going to happen with the 12 in the college football. We're just keeping it up to date on what has went on this last weekend. This weekend's another big weekend for the college. And now we're going to go to the Tampa Bay Rays. A lot of big news with the Rays. They have assumed playing at George Steinbrenner Field, the Yankee minor league field, next to Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. The roof got blown off in Hurricane Milton. If anybody don't know that, the hurricane blew the roof off of the dome, and it can't be repaired before the season next year for the Tampa Bay Rays. They had to find a temporary home. And where would they find one? Well, they went to the minor league park of the Yankees beside Raymond James Stadium. It holds about 11,000 people. They're going to put a little bit more bleachers in there, have about 15,000 as a crowd. And they're going to play there for the whole season, their home games, until they can get the roof back on the Tropicana Field. So that's big news for the Tampa Bay Rays. At least we know where they're going to be playing. That's about all the news, really, about the stadium. There's not anything about the players. They're pretty much the same as they were last year. There's not been any trades or anything like that right now as far as our team is concerned. We'll keep you posted on the Tampa Bay Rays. And we're also going over here to the Lightning. They have lost 3 straight. They've had some bad luck here the last 3 games. They've scored a lot, and they've given up quite a lot of goals. I don't exactly know why, except for maybe a defensive play. And some nights we look a little bit better on the defensive player, and our goaltending's a little bit better. But we'll just have to get out of that. There's 82 games in hockey, and we're not even at the Christmas break. So we're not in any major problems, even though we have lost 3 straight. We got to get that turned up, and maybe we will against the Blackhawks this weekend up in Chicago. We'll just have to wait and see. We'll keep you posted on whether we've turned that around with the Lightning. And now we're going to go on to NASCAR, and as you know, Joey Logano won the Phoenix race and won the NASCAR championship for 2024. Joey Logano, Team Penske, won the championship in NASCAR last weekend at Phoenix Raceway. That ends the NASCAR season for this year until Daytona 500 in February. So congratulations, Joey Logano. Congratulations to all 4 of them. Ryan Blaney, and his great year that he had in that car, and Tyler Reddick and Alex Bowman. All of them that made the Final 4 playoff team to actually have an opportunity to win the championship. So that's all in the NASCAR. We'll just have to get with you next February in Daytona. We'll keep you posted if there's any kind of news with the charters, or as you know, the lawsuit of Front Road Motorsports and 2311 Michael Jordan Racing have against NASCAR right now. They've lost their charter, so they're not a charter team next year. They're an open team. They got to go out and qualify. The other teams that pay for the charter, they're in the show. So we'll get into that later about NASCAR, but that's about all in NASCAR for this year anyhow, at least for the champion, Joey Logano. Now we're going to go to your questions, and the first one's from Beverly, and Beverly wanted to know what I thought of Isaac Holt as a cornerback. Beverly, Isaac Holt played for the Los Angeles Rams when they won the Super Bowl. He played out there about 7 years as a starting cornerback. And then he went to Buffalo Bills last year and played a full year at Buffalo. This year he had a little bit of injury in training camp, and they cut him before the season started. Because I would think his age. He's 33 years old, and they have something about age and yada, yada, yada. Torrey Holt, He started 166 games. He had 16 interceptions in his career, 4 for touchdowns, a bunch of breakups. He knows the schemes. He knows where he's supposed to be. He knows a lot about the defense that they're going to run with Todd Bowles, and I think he'll be a perfect fit out there if Zyon McCullin can't play or anybody else gets injured at cornerback. You've got a veteran there, a veteran. So what he don't make up in that little bit of burst of speed, he makes up between his ears and know what's going on. Okay? So I think he'll be a big help to us. Big help, Beverly. God bless you, Beverly. Thank you for your question. And the next question is from Angus, and Angus wanted to know what I thought about NASCAR and the charter between 2311 and Front Row Motorsports and this whole NASCAR lawsuit. And Angus, it's a complicated situation. There's 36 teams out there, and if they are charter teams, they make every single race. Guaranteed. Don't matter what the car does, they're in that starting grid on the day of the race. And when you are a race car owner, you want to put advertisement on your car to make money, as we all know. Well, if you can tell your advertiser you're going to be in 36 races out of 36 races because you're a charter team, you get more of this right here. So when Michael Jordan and Denny Hamlin, 2311 Racing, and Bob Jenkins at Front Row Motorsports decide they don't want to sign the charter, and NASCAR says, yeah, you're going to sign the charter? And they said, oh, you can't make us sign it. We can tell you ain't a charter team if you don't sign it. And they did. They didn't sign it. Guess what? They're not a charter team. Guess what? They're open cars. What does that mean? It means they qualify if there's a position. What if there ain't a position? They don't race. That's what that means. So they gambled. They gambled, and right now they lost. So we'll just see how that goes. That's a court case and a half, and I don't even know the legalities of it. Antitrust, all kinds of stuff. Angus, I really can't get into it. We'd have another show on just the NASCAR lawsuit. But anyhow, that's what's happened out there at NASCAR with that you've asked. And Front Row and them can qualify for some races and will qualify for some of them, as is 2311. But they're not guaranteed a spot, which if they'd had a charter, they would have been guaranteed a spot. Thank you for your question, Angus. God bless you. And the last one is from Billy. And Billy wanted to know, did I think Tropicana Field would be ready to play this year for the Rays? And Billy, it won't be. The stadium, by the time they get in there and do all the clay, because the water went in there and washed all that clay out, it was terrible in there. I mean, they have a lot of work to do. Then they got to do that whole roof. And they're not going to be able to do that whole roof before February or March. They ain't going to do it. It takes a while. Took them about six weeks already just to take the old one off. And then they got to structurally look at all of it. Yeah, they're not going to be ready. They have to have a home. So that's why they had to go find a place near Tampa, near St. Petersburg. How about Tampa? How about the Yankees minor league field right beside the football field? How about that one? And guess what? That's what they chose. So that's where they're going to be playing next year. Okay? So anyhow, Billy, it's not ideal. But, you know, when you're only drawing 15,000, 16,000 in a game, and the bigger games, you do draw more. But it's just going to be a little tight as far as this year goes. As far as home crowds, there'll probably be a whole bunch of people wanting in there complaining, oh, we wanted in, we couldn't get in. When they had the Tropicana Field, they couldn't fill it. Now they're going to be filling it, okay? They always wanted a full crowd. They're going to get one in that minor league park. But they're going to try to put some extra bleachers out there is what I've been told. I haven't seen it yet, but they've got a while. But that's where they're going to be, Billy. Georgetown Benner Yankee minor league field right beside Raymond James on Del Mabry for this whole number 2025 season. Home games. No matter where they put the roof on it, and they say, oh, when they put the roof on it, they'll move back over. Nope. They got to be one place for the whole year. They're going to be there. God bless you, and thank you for your question, Billy. So, what do you got for me tonight, DJX?
Well, Cowboy, you know what it is. Let's get right off into it, buddy. All right. How did the 49ers quarterback Brock Purdy perform?
Against us, okay. Nothing great.
Mm-hmm. He had a strong game, completing 25 of 36 passes for 352 yards.
But he only scored 23 points, and that 23 came at the end of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, the dink and dunks didn't get the dink and dunk done.
Yeah.
The Bucs had them on the ROPE ropes.
Mm.
And let me tell you like this, they committed 2 15-yard penalties on the last drive and put the Bucs at the 7-yard line. First and goal.
Mm-hmm.
And the Bucs run to the right one time and got stopped.
Mm-hmm.
And they run to the left one time and got stopped.
Mm-hmm.
And then they threw a ball that was incomplete from the 7-yard line. That's how close the 49ers come to getting beat. If it had been, quote unquote, we was playing what we should have been playing, we'd have scored a touchdown and we'd have beat them. So their numbers might be deceiving.
Mm-hmm.
8 or 9 yards, but you stop them. 3rd down and 2, you stop them. 4th down, they punt.
Mm-hmm.
They made some yardage.
Yeah.
And they scored 20. They scored 23 to win.
Okay.
So that means they scored, 2 field goals. They actually scored 3 field goals and 2 touchdowns. The 2 touchdowns with the 49ers, we remember seeing when Montana and Young scored 4 or 5 touchdowns.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. That brings me to this then. What led to the Buccaneers' 4th straight loss?
What led to it was a little bit getting skittish again when it come time to make the call down when it was 1st and goal at the 7-yard line.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here at Sports Talk Radio, we're going to keep it real with you, and this is real. If you get 2 15-yard penalties that the 49ers commit on you and move you 30 yards to that 7-yard point, that don't happen every day. When the Bucs were gifted 15-yard face mask and 15-yard hands to the face, one after the other, and they moved the ball 15 and then 15 more, moved them 30 yards up to where they were 1st and goal at the 7. That don't happen with the 49ers ever. They don't make mistakes like that to cost them games.
Mm-hmm.
And when the Bucs had it 1st and 7, they crapped the bed. Okay?
That's not good. That's not good.
It wasn't good. It smelt bad when White went left and they stopped him.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, well, could they put Tucker in? Could they put Irvin in? They couldn't be more creative than just go around there and get stopped right like that. They couldn't go out. Okay, they did their first play. Second play, they went the other side. But guess what happened?
I don't know. It seemed like they starting to show a lot of weaknesses to me.
It's play calling. They're doing what the offensive coordinator thinks, and they were behind by 3 points at the time. And when they got it down to the 7, he got to thinking, well, if I don't score a touchdown, I can kick a field goal and tie the game. So he got conservative. Said, well, I better not throw it because if it got the interception, we've lost. We're three.
So they don't allow the players to ad-lib a little bit?
I think they do, but I mean, if it's just a running play, I mean, and it was, I'm not saying it was right up the gut. It wasn't up the gut. They went outside tackle. But you could have been more creative. Listen, you got Mayfield. You could have rolled out. Okay, you could have rolled out and looked at a receiver. And Mayfield's like, but how rough Mayfield, how gritty he is. Let him run it on in there. I mean, knock him on it. But look, I'm here on your show. I'm not making that call. But I think they got a little too conservative down there. And I thought the gift had been given them. The gift, knowing the 49ers and how they play football, how expertise and how they've won 6 Super Bowls. There's only the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cowboys we're talking about in that realm that's won 6 Super Bowls. Well, the New England Patriots too. But hey, they don't make mistakes like that to cost them 3 points, to cost them going, down, tie a game within a minute of the end of the game. They don't give that kind of stuff up back to back.
No.
So when they gave you that, you got gift. You got your gift. Now, when you got to the 7, when it was first down, it's up to you to capitalize. And you can say they kicked a field goal, made it 20-20, and they left 40 seconds on the clock. Guess what? That was 40 seconds too long. Because when they got down there to their end, they put them a field goal through, and guess what happened? But if we'd have scored that 7, they'd have had to make 4. They couldn't have done it on the toe of that kicker.
They were supposed to take Anyway, with a record of 4-6, the Buccaneers face an uphill battle to make the playoffs. What's the outlook for the Buccaneers season after this tough loss?
You're going to hear it here first, here at Sports Talk with the Cowboy. We made a lot of good calls, and some people forget when we do. Okay, I say the Bucs win 7 straight. Now,
Seven?
Let me hear me out now. The New York 2-8 Giants, the Dallas Cowboys, and Dak Prescott out for the year. Gone on crutches. Okay. The Las Vegas Raiders, 2 wins. The Saints, we creamed them over 50 points last time we played them. They fired their head coach. The Panthers, that won 3 games total. And the San Diego Chargers might be our only real that could make it 6 or 7. But you're hearing Cowboy call that the Bucs are going to go on that kind of a run. Now you can come out every week and I'll tell you whether they did it or not.
Y'all heard it here.
But the day they have to play the Ravens, the Falcons, the Ravens, the Chiefs, and then the 49ers, those days are over. Now they're getting a little bit of the cream of the crop.
We'll see. All right, Cowboy, that's what I got for you.
God bless you, DJ X. God bless each and every one of y'all for watching the show. Continue to send your questions in with the comments. Pick up your sports talk with the Cowboy Pick'em at your Village Inn, 3101 US 27 in Sebring. Or go to the show in the comment and tell me the games that the winners are. Just write the winners in with a comma, send them into the show, and we will enter you into the contest. It's as easy as that. And we'll come back at the end of the year with the overall winner. And that's been going on now, I guess, every week of the year. I don't think this is week 11, maybe week 12. So get into the show and get that done. Be kind to your neighbor. Put your hand out to anybody in need. Give them a hand up. We need more love than we do hate in this world. And we need the Lord in all of our lives. Bring them all out and say amen and help someone if he can be helped. Till the next show, God bless you. Cowboy out.
Have you ever had a dream that you want him to do you so much you could do anything?